Hello guys, here I'm making a video on me working on my dirt bike because I think it got slow. So I'm probably gonna change to different fuels because if you change on fuels, some of them might get faster. Right now I'm running 93 octane fuel, but I'm switching to E85 race fuel. If you don't know what that is, this is it. So here you go, this is E85. So, let's get started. Remember guys, turn off the fuel before you start changing the jets, because if you don't, it will leak everywhere. After that, the clamp off, and then the fuel line, and pour it into here. And then we're taking off the air filter. I'm gonna leave it to the side like this hose. Now, after you've done all of this, and then the next thing you have to do is take off these two screws what hold the carburetor. They're on both sides here and here, right there. Okay, after you remove those two screws, I set them right here, and the carburetor should be right here. And then you have to unscrew this. It goes to your throttle. Take this off and then drain. Remember to drain the fuel in the carburetor, because there always will be fuel. Because if you don't drain it and you unscrew it, all of the fuel is going to leak out. See, there's barely anything in here. There's only a little bit, but that's fine. So after, there's 4 screws on the carburetor. Some carburetors are different and there are no screws here, but mine has the screws. You're gonna unscrew them. The jets are inside of the carburetor. Well, that's what I'm gonna need to change. Okay. So after you unscrewed the carburetor, it should look like this. But some carburetors are different. But this is mine. I already got the 2 jets right here. And for E85, I need bigger jets to run. Mine has 2 jets. For one, the small one is for light throttle and idle, and the second one, the bigger one, is for half throttle and full throttle. So I took out the light throttle and idle one. It's 38. I am switching it to a 58 for E85. But some engines are different, so if for mine I'm putting a 58, but for different engines a 58 might be too big or too small, but for mine it's perfect. Then you tighten it down and then unscrew the full throttle one, what is right here. And then after you took it out, you are going to need a wrench, because these 2 parts are separate. So the top part is this, the bottom part is separate. Okay, so I'm gonna unscrew it now and put in a different one. I'm gonna These are usually pretty tight on there. So this one is 100. I don't know if you guys could see on top it says that. It's 100. I'm changing it to 115. It doesn't need a big difference. So yeah, that's how it would look like without the top part. And now we're putting the 115 in. Then we're gonna need the wrench again and tighten it down. The wrong way. Has to be pretty tight. That noise is because I'm tightening it down, and sometimes makes that noise. See, now it's tight, the top part, and we screw it into the carburetor. Tighten it down again. And then take the bottom part of the carburetor. Remember, you have that gasket on so the fuel doesn't leak. And then put it on top so it's nicely on. Then screw it in. Most of the time, keep it upside down before you screw all of the screws in, because if you don't, your gasket might fall out of its lines and might start leaking fuel. Like the screws are not tight down yet, so I'm keeping it upside down so the gasket doesn't fall out. Remember, put it tight so the fuel doesn't leak. So on mine, this is the AFR gauge, the blue one. And after you change your jets, you're probably gonna need to tune it with the AFR gauge. So I'm gonna tune it, but you're gonna have to listen to what the sound is and see if it's not too lean or too rich. So yeah, after you've done all of that, you should have a full carburetor ready to put in the engine. Okay, so I got the carburetor, and when you look inside, there's a little tip what stands out right there. You probably can't see it. It's right little there. That little notch, this has to go on that little spot. If it's not going in the notch, then it won't fully close like this. If it's not fully in the notch, then it will do this or this. It won't go fully down. You have to put it in the notch and then you close it. So yep, it's screwed in, and it's supposed to be facing back because of this end what sucks air in, and this end is to go on that part. So you will take this, what was on earlier, and align it so it fits the screws. If it doesn't fit the screws, then you probably need to flip it upside down, and it should be good, as you see. And then take the screws you had unscrewed not long ago and put those through, and then put the nut on and do that for both sides so it's tight. After you did all of that, then you're gonna have your fuel line go right back on here, and then connect this back down so it doesn't leak. Right here, a little maybe more down. Perfect. Then your air filter, gonna have to put it on too, and I like to use a minus on here, but it's actually a plus. But whatever you guys prefer, and then you could use. And then put this on. And this little clip on here. And then remember, put your fuel back on so it drains, because I would not like to drive with my fuel off because it won't run. And yeah, jets are changed and now should be good for driving. Here you go, guys. I'm outside. Let's see how it runs. Seems to be running pretty good. No bogging, nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys updated for the next modifications or just fixing it. Yep. So that's it. Bye. So on E85, you will get more power, a little bit, but mostly you will get torque. But if you just pour E85 in without changing the jets, then it will run horrible. And if you change the jets and then pour E85, then it will run way better.